Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. We are going through the course Neural Networks from scratch. In previous videos, we understood the operations that happen inside a neural network and implemented them in Python. Now we have an idea of how to code a network with any number of layers. We tried with 2 layers, 3 layers, etc. and we can add that for any number of layers. In this video, we will see the intuition behind the working of a neural network. Neural networks are inspired from human brain. In our brain, we have millions of neurons connected to each other and they help us in making decisions and performing daily tasks. As humans, we are able to perform complex tasks like recognizing a person, understanding a song, etc. These things we do very easily. We don't even recognize how complex the task is. Can a computer do that? If yes, how can we make it do this? What if we replicate the similar structure of our brain into a computer? That's where the idea of neural networks came. Now let's see how do these networks work, or let's say how do it learn a new task. So for that, let's see how do we learn a new task. For example, recognizing a line. Let us consider we are teaching some group of kids to learn how a line looks like. We asked them to look at this picture and learn how line looks, and they have to inform a teacher about their findings. Now these four kids have to learn together. Let's say they have divided the task themselves, each one learning a particular feature of the line. So this guy is learning about the face, she is learning about the body, and these are learning about legs and tail. All of them are making some decision and they are informing that decision to the teacher here. Now one of the guy complained that he can't work. He said, the face is one of the important feature. It has so many things to learn. It has eyes, nose, mouth, ears, etc. everything. So these are all the important features for identifying any animal. So he can't do this task alone. He said, I need help. So let's say the teacher give him help and he has given him two more guys to learn the face. Now these three guys together should learn the face. So this is almost similar to adding more neurons to the existing layer. So if you consider this as one neural network layer, we are adding three more neurons to this layer, just for an analogy. Now these three guys should divide this particular task among themselves. So if you see here, they have divided again. Okay, I will learn about the eyes and you learn about the nose and mouth, and this guy you learn about the ears. That's how they divided. And all of them finally will tell whether that is a line face or not to the teacher. Now what about fur? Even fur is very important. So yeah, we will add one more guy. So this guy will learn whether it has fur or not, and he will inform the decision to the teacher. Now we have a total of 7 guys learning whether it is a line or not, each one making their own decision about a individual part. This guy will make only decision about the eyes. He will only look at the eyes. He will tell whether these are line eyes or not. He will only look at the mouth and nose. He will tell whether it is a line mouth or not. Similarly, everyone will look at a simple portion of the image and they will make the decision correspondingly. Now all these decisions they will pass it to the teacher. Note that all this division they have done themselves. Teacher did not tell them what to learn. He did not tell this guy to learn eyes or this guy to learn fur. They have divided the task among themselves. That's what the specialty of the neural networks. Now the teacher has so much load, he can't handle 7 kids. He said, I cannot handle 7 people's information. I cannot make a decision myself. Then what we do? We will add one more teacher. So you make a decision only about the face from the inputs you are getting here. And we will add one more lady here who will make a decision about the body based on the information she is getting from here. And these two, they have to accumulate the information from the kids and they have to make their decisions forward. So this guy has to make a decision whether it is a line face or not, and this lady has to make a decision whether it is a line body or not. Now these two decisions they have to inform to their boss. Now this guy have to make the final decision whether it is a line or not, depending on the inputs he is getting from both the teachers. This is similar to dividing the task into tiny bits and handling each of them separately. So if you see these group of people, the whole task is to identify from this picture whether it is a line or not. They have divided the task among themselves into tiny bits and they are each performing one particular task, one particular operation here. And finally by accumulating all those decisions, the final decision is being made. Now they have an auditor or evaluator who will evaluate their findings. He will give the feedback whether their decision is correct or not. So if their decision is wrong, he will give feedback that it is wrong, you have to learn properly. So that's what the feedback is coming here in the red arrow. The information passes from the teachers to the boss and then to the auditor. And the auditor, based on the output he is getting, he will give the feedback back to the boss. Now the boss have to give feedback to the teachers. So the boss analyzes the feedback and send the feedback to both the teachers based on the information they have provided. Let's say teacher 1 strongly suggested that it is not a line phase, because of which the final decision was made as not line. So now the boss will give strong warning to teacher 1 and also asks teacher 2 to be cautious as well. Now it's the students' turn. Teachers will give the feedback to their corresponding students. Now from the next time, students will be careful. If you give a new image of the line, this time they will take the feedback into consideration and make a better decision. This total process continues till they started making correct decisions on most of the images. This is how the learning happens. In neural network, we call this as a training. So neural networks work in the similar way. If you consider this group, each guy can be replaced by a single neuron here. So if you do that, we are getting a network like this. Each neuron is learning one small portion of the task. Now we know that neuron has only two parameters. These are only weights and biases. When we say the neuron learns, it basically adjusts the weights and biases to get the right information passed to the next neuron. The feedback comes back from the ground truth or the labels. The process by which the network receives the feedback and adjusts its weights and biases is called the backpropagation. If you consider these as the neurons, all the neurons should be connected to each and every neuron, right? That's what we have seen in our previous networks. So it should be like this. If you consider each portion is being learned by one neuron and this neuron is connected to both the neurons of the next layer. So even though this is connected, as in our example, this guy is only taking the decisions of the first 4 neurons and this guy is taking only the decisions of the last 3 neurons. So how do we decide on that? Like this neuron has to look for only first 4 or last 3, like that. So that depends on the weights and biases, and that also depends on the neural network learning. We don't decide anything here. Depending on the information flow, the network will decide what neurons it should look here. So if you see here, this green indicates the firing of the neuron, or let's say the information passage here. So if you consider here, the information is getting passed from these 4 neurons to this layer, right? If you consider these 4 connections to the next neuron, they are not fired. Maybe their weights are very small. So whereas these 4 guys have more weightage. The same way these 2 guys are passing the information to the next neuron. So even though all the neurons are connected, information flow happens only through the learned path, which is based on the weights and biases. So now here, do you think the single neuron can learn the whole image of eyes? No, right? It might not be reasonable. So let's see what exactly happens when we give an image as input to the network. How does it take? For network, how can it take the image as input? Let's say this is the image I want to give to the network, and this image has 16 by 8 pixels here. So every pixel has some information. It has 16 by 8 pixels, total 128 pixels. Now if I want to give this as input to the network, I need to vectorize this. So I'm converting the 16 by 8 pixels into 128 by 1 vector. Now this vector should go as input to my neural network. So for taking this 128 by 1 vector, my neural network should have an input layer with 128 neurons. So each neuron taking 1 pixel here. So this pixel information has a single value ranging from 0 to 255. So it is just a value which is being passed to the neuron here. If you consider this total is a vector which is having some integers. So this vector is being passed to the input layer. Now this particular input layer, it will process the information and it will pass the outputs to the next hidden layer. So the number of hidden layers we can decide ourselves depending on the tasks. How many neurons you want. Here we have kept 64 neurons. Do we need 64 neurons here? We don't know. So once we do the task, we will get an idea. We need to do experimentation all these parameters. So for the network, this is nothing but a vector input. Be it is like 128 vector or 300 vector, it doesn't matter. It is just a vector of inputs we are giving to the input layer. From there, it will do the forward pass by doing all the vector dot products and summation, whatever we have discussed in the previous sessions. So any type of input you give, here we have considered the image, but any type of input you give, let's say some audio signal or let's say some sensory input, whatever you consider, those inputs will be converted into a vector. For the network, the input is a vector. That's it. So that's all from this video. Hope you got an idea of how neural networks work. If you like this video, hit the like button and please share and subscribe to the channel. That really motivates me for making interesting content. Thank you. See you in the next video.